Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Another pipeline, gas pipeline, underwater pipeline, was damaged, blown up, destroyed, has a leak. Well, we can only imagine who the perpetrator might be. I have two leads here, or let's say two alternate hypotheses. At least two. So I'm going to discuss that with you, but let's first read the article coming from Sputnik. So, between Finland, right? Finland and I think Poland or Lithuania, a gas pipeline was... So, let's see. Sputnik. NATO ready to assist in investigation of BALTICCONECTOR gas leak. They call it at this point leak until they determine how to call it. Finnish president. Now this is very serious. It's unlike the Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2. This is very serious because it's our infrastructure. That was the Russians and the Germans. You can make shit up. Let's see. Moscow. Finnish President Sauli Niinisto on Tuesday held talks with NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg and said that the alliance is ready to assist Helsinki in investigation into an incident with the BALTICCONECTOR gas pipeline. Why is NATO involved? Was NATO involved in Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines? I can't remember. Let me quote this for you. The damage to the underwater infrastructure was taken seriously, and an investigation into its cause has been ongoing since Sunday. It is likely that damage to both the gas pipeline and the telecommunications cable is the result of external influence. Yes, it is. Now, who did it? Niinisto said in a statement. So, someone fucked them up. The president added that the cause of the incident remains unknown. An investigation is ongoing in cooperation between Finland and Estonia. So Finland and Estonia, not any... But anyway, Estonia, well... Anyway. We are also in constant contact with our allies and partners. Gonna ask Al Capone, now what, did you do it again? Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, man, we have to do it so we can split the whole thing in two, okay? So now they're not after us anymore. They say, see, someone else must be the Russians, okay? We connect the Russians to this one, and then we say, see, that's a pattern. Probably they did it to themselves. Okay, got that. Today I held talks with NATO Secretary Wiesel Stoltenberg. NATO is ready to assist in the investigation. Blah, 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 blah. Earlier in October, Gasgrid, Finland, reported the shutdown of the BALTICCONECTOR pipeline, citing a possible leak. BALTICCONECTOR is a gas pipeline that binds Finland and Estonia via the Gulf of Finland's seabed. It was commissioned in December 2019. So let's see what there is, the location on the map, shall we? Alright, so here we have the map of Europe. So we go from far, we come close. So here is Estonia right here, this big land mass, and this is Finland right here. So this is the Gulf of Tonkin, I mean Finland. So I have another map, so don't get scared. It's between right here and right here. Oh, who that? That is Russia. So this is Russia right here, St. Petersburg. So something happened in between these two little weasels, and NATO must be notified, or right here. So again, Finland, Estonia, somewhere in this Gulf was the garbage, and Russia is right here. I can only imagine. Now let's discuss what could be. So a communication cable and a gas pipeline. Could be the Russians blowing that up? Yeah, could be. I would be not surprised a bit if the Russians said, yeah, you didn't care about our infrastructure. We're going to show you how it is at the receiving end. We're going to do it to you. Boom. Could be Russia. I give it a possibility, 100%. Probability, let's say 98%. Now, Could it be someone else, like the same guys who blew up the Nord Stream pipeline, which, by the way, was in this area, wasn't it? Somewhere here, in this area right here. So anyway, could it be someone else? Could be the United States of America? Possibility, 100%. Probability, 98%. I would put them on equal footing. Why? The Russians, if they did it to say, see, now what? What are you going to do? But they exposed themselves to this interpretation. Yes, it was the Russians, and I am almost 100% certain they will say it was the Russians. Even if they were or they weren't, they will be the Russians. Why? Because they want to link this one with the other one. They will say, well, just a second, this is what the Russians did, so if they did it here, most likely they did it over there as well. And I read a little article saying that actually, which I don't believe, but anyway, you know that scenario with those guys on the little boat, 5 guys and a woman, or it was 6 and a woman, 6 and 1, like in rowing, 6 and 1, was it 6 and 1, is it, when they have the Olympics and World Tournaments, I don't know how you call them, rowing, I think you call it, the same, it was 6 and 1, on that little yacht. Remember the alternative that Americans came with the scenario, garbage scenario. It was a yacht with some guys over there. They were not Americans, and they were not. If you know they're not Americans, that means you know who they were. If you know they were not Americans, I mean, how can you eliminate someone without knowing who the other guys are? Because if you don't know who the other guys are, then you can't say it was not Americans. So how do you know it was not American? That was garbage. Again, idiots, man. These guys are below 86 IQ. Yeah, watch those Hollywood movies with all those CIA and agents and FBI and all those Mission Impossible garbage and so on. Watch those movies, because that's the way, that's the way they are. They don't even fucking know how to tie their shoes properly. Anyway, let's move on, or match their sock with the color of the shoe. So anyway, let's move on. So probably they're gonna drop this on Russia. Now, could it be United States? Could it be? Could be United States with the Great Britain, the same actors, do it to blame it on Russia. Could it be Russia? As I said, yes, it could be Russia. But I don't think they will do that, though, because of this connection that these guys are gonna make. Why? Because they cannot make up shit in order to determine what happened to Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipelines. They're still dragging their feet over there. What the fuck are we gonna say now? Don't say it was us, mofos. Don't say it was us, Al Capone, with the gang. So they don't know. They go in circles around the blown pipelines and like, how about we just zip it? That's what they've been doing. And right now, probably they're gonna say, no, actually, let's make a determination and get the Russians in, because we're gonna that way we're gonna get the idiots in Europe's support for the garbage in Ukraine, for our domination. So yeah, that works. And we're gonna Finland. Isn't Finland right now part of NATO? Oh yes, it is. Yes, it is. And Estonia, big mouth. Yeah, so you got the perfect candidates for such a cover-up, as well as Denmark and Sweden cover-up as well. Yeah, so remember, right here, Sweden and Denmark, this area, and then you have this right here. Anyway, my friends, interesting. I would not be surprised if the Russians come out and say, they will not come out and say. Why? Because they still want to maintain a, no, we're the good guys, we don't engage in these guys of act of terrorism, which they didn't so far. The other side did, but, I mean, we don't know, let's put it this way. But, it's like you have, for instance, a victim of a rape somewhere, and you have 2 suspects. One is a male, and the other one is a female. And you say, no, both of them are, suspects of the rape. Man, really, it's, you kind of understand, even though you investigate, you don't know what she did to the other one, or whatever. But in this case, You know, still, that guy possesses a, the other one possesses a, so it's a little bit the same here. We still put the Russians into Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 pipeline suspects, even though they're, instead of putting the Americans with the, and then my friends, I'm gonna start talking like the, what are those, pygmies? Anyway, my friends, I'm gonna make my own language. Esperanto is, anyway, forgotten. Yeah, my friends, pipeline and connection, communication cable. So that's an extra for you. What if they find out it was Russia? They will, or they will, no, they will say it was Russia. I'm 99% certain they will say it was Russia. Now, I have no, and meet you in about few days. They will conduct this investigation like with the speed of light. The other one is like, this one is going to be like, Russia right there. You're going to see how fast these guys figure things out here. You can make sure up. I will see you probably in about 2 days. I'm expecting later today or tomorrow these guys to show up and say, could be Russia. That's how they start. And then they build it in about 7 hours. They get to, yeah, it was Russia. Man, these guys really, but they deal with these idiots. What do you want, man? Not like you and I. Obviously, genius is right here. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.